Springsteen and the title song from his new album, Born to Run. And this is Father Bill Ayres on WPLJ 95.5 FM in New York City. And we're going to get into Springsteen in just a moment. Let me set the stage for you again by saying that this interview was done maybe about 6 months or so ago. And Springsteen, as you'll hear, is not somebody who celebrates what we can be. He's very much concerned with the way that he is and the way that the people that he knows are. It's street music, it's motorcycles, able to survive. And
Springsteen Incident on 57th Street, that's from your album, which isn't so new anymore, I guess, right?
It's about, I guess it's a year and a half old now.
Yeah, and you're back in the studios to put another one together.
Yeah.
When's it going to be ready?
Summertime.
Summertime. In the meantime, you're just jamming in more songs. You keep writing all the time, right?
Yeah. What happens is that over the past, year or so, like we played, the band played, and changed the band around a little bit, and the band was developed a lot on stage, I mean,
right.
As far as a playing unit, and usually when I'm playing, I don't write, I don't write that much when I'm playing, and so it really didn't start to write till we sort of stopped, laid off playing, and started to do the album,
Yeah. Does your band influence your writing? A lot of people have had that happen to them. A guy like Duke Ellington, for example, because he would hear certain things that the band could do, he'd write it a little bit differently. Did you find that you're doing that now that you got a band that's together?
No.
No.
No, it's usually like I don't really write for the band or anything, right. I write for like whatever I hear in my head,
Yeah.
and then I form the band to perform that.
Yeah, to put it together.
Yeah.
When you weren't doing any writing, did you find that you were getting a lot of, kind of flashes of images and things like that you jot down on little pieces of paper? I know I do that myself. Or do you just sit down and put it all together at once?
No, I don't know, it happens, I guess it goes a lot of different ways, It's like, occasionally, I don't carry a notebook or nothing with me,
Yeah, you're not a notebook writer, huh?
No, I really don't know how it all comes about. It's different. Like, at one time I did, At one time, when I was doing the first album, when I did the first album, I had no band or nothing, and I was playing by myself,
Right.
Because I didn't have any money at the time. I didn't have any money, so.
Couldn't even afford a notebook, huh?
Yeah, it was like, but no, not too much of a notebook, right?
Yeah.
Not.
When'd you start writing?
That's when I started playing the guitar,
Does it bother you that people compare you to other people? Like I was talking to you about Dave Marsh before, and he's kind of compared you to Dylan, and some other people have, and favorably, Does that bother you at all?
No, I don't think it's a question of, does it bother you, does it not bother you, occasionally, the only thing that would happen is it can get in the way of people, like it's more people have got to get through.
Right, to get to
you, and that, outside of that, it's just, just sells newspapers and sells things like that,
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like, it's nothing, never bothered me, I never had, I knew who I was, knew who I was, and knew who I wasn't,
That's a very important thing. Okay, if you know who you're not and you don't want to be somebody else, who is it that you want to be as a songwriter, anyway?
Man, I don't know,
What do you want to say with your music?
I don't think of it too much in, I don't really deal too much in those particular terms, you know, as like I sit down and write a song. I don't. A lot of times I don't sit down with any particular intention in mind, you know. It sort of takes me where it wants to go a little bit, you know. And, you know, mostly I guess it's about I don't know, just you know, just making it, you know, till tomorrow and till tomorrow night and to tonight, you know, and day to day, you know. I guess that's what
you try to stay pretty close to the street in a sense, and people who are living on an everyday basis. And do you spend a lot of time talking with people or just hanging around?
Well, right now I don't have too much choice. I ain't exactly gonna spend a weekend in the Hilton yet, you know. You know, I just do what I always did, you know. Nothing's not that much different. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had enough of material like success to know, you know, to be in a position to say, oh, choose this or choose that, you know. So I don't know what that battle's about yet, you know.
A lot of people have been through that battle. Some have done pretty well, and some others haven't done so well. You know.
You know.
Do you look forward to it, or you kind of have some fears about it, or just let it come?
I don't think too much about it, you know. So it's like, you know, as far as like I have to look forward to like having money, you know, having, you know, I guess, you know, I guess so. I don't know. You know?
Well, I've read some things about you, you know, some reviews, in which it seemed to me that some people were trying to create an image that I'm not so sure you're trying to create, you know, kind of a star thing. And I don't know whether that'll take or not. I hope that success takes for you, you know, but somehow or another, people sometimes in this business work on two different levels. You know, the level of who they are, and then the level of the image that people create for them. Do you have the feeling that that's happening to you, or is it too soon for that?
There's only a few ways you can do it. Just like there's people who are create a particular image, you know, around themselves, and are secure in knowing, well, that's their image, and then they know that this is them, you know. And there's people that create a particular image and don't know the image from themselves, you know.
Yeah, and that's when you get real problems.
Yeah, and then so it's like, I don't know, you know. I don't know. I just try to maintain a certain level of honesty with myself and with it, in terms of you know, what I project to the audience, you know, also, you know, and try to, you know, just walk the right way, you know.
Okay, this is Rosalita. And the E Street Shuffle. That's a great title. And that was Rosalita. We were just talking about one of my favorite people in the business, John Hammond, while our record was playing there. And he's the guy who you auditioned for when you first got into this business, right?
Yeah. It was something. You know, it was like I came to New York and I had this old...
You came to New York from across the river in New Jersey, right?
You know, just a long ride.
Yeah, depends on how you do it.
You know, it's like, I had this guitar, this famous little guitar. The neck was broken, and I brought it up, went into the office, you know. And I got brought there by the guy that's my manager, you know, that's my manager now. And at the time, like, I was like, I always took the attitude that nothing was gonna come of anything, you know, because you know, that's usually the way it always worked out. Cause like I'd been playing down in Jersey in the bars for like, I don't know, 9 years. You know?
That long, huh?
Yeah, 9 years.
Wow.
You know, and I had some good bands down there, you know, and you know, hey man, I'm gonna bring down a manager from the Birds to see you guys tonight, right? You sit there till 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, nobody.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I always figured, well, you know. So anyway, I went up there and we went in, you know, introduced, you know, met the guy, and sat down. And my manager, man, he jumped up and started giving this big hype already, right? I didn't play a note, right?
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
I'm saying, I said, oh, no.
You can't do that with John. Yeah.
So, all right, so I played a few things, you know. I think I played Saint in the Sea. And he liked it, right, you know. And he was really enthusiastic about it, and he went in the studio with him, and we did, you know, 13 or 14 songs on demo tape, you know, and that was like the day, man. That was like the day that never comes.
Sure, yeah.
And I felt I was gonna go outside and, like, you know, get hit by a car, you know, after that, you know.
It was all over, right?
Yeah, that's what I figured. You know, it was like, it's something. Yeah, that was the day.
He really believes in you. There's no question about that, because we've talked about you a couple of times, and he was talking about you not only as a songwriter, but also as a guitar player and a harp player, too. We haven't heard any of that, but you play a mean harp.
I play all right. I don't play so good. I can hit some notes on it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, I played a little bit on a few albums, you know.
Right.
But,
You've been, you played, okay, in a lot of clubs, paid a lot of dues and small things, and then all of a sudden you wind up playing before 20, 30,000 people, opening for Chicago on a tour that you did, and you had a band with you. But that's a whole different scene. Is that something that you want to keep doing, or you got a different feeling for your music?
That's when you start really playing. It's when you find yourself out there in front of, like, 20,000 people. It's like, I never played in front of that many people, so somebody said, hey, we got this deal, you know, you can go on tour with Chicago. They want you to come on tour with them. What do you say? And I said, well, you know, I never did it. I said, sure.
Why not?
You know,
right.
You know. And went on a tour, and it's some interesting things is ever since Frisbee invented the lighted Frisbee that glows in the dark. Yeah. Well, now they can play when the lights are off, too. You see, they can play when you're playing. It was like, the only fun there was really stomping on the balloons when they threw them on stage, you know. It was like, but it was like, it was something. It was not something that I'd want to do again, you know.
Yeah.
You know? Too
big.
Yeah, the best part about it was the people from Chicago were like really, really nice people, you know. Yeah. And like, it was you know, that was fun, you know, and it was fun traveling around. I like to do that, but it just wasn't occurring, you know, it wasn't happening on stage. As the worst, maybe the worst night I ever played was in the Spectrum in Philadelphia. You know, it was like, you know,
people weren't getting into your music, or there just wasn't any chance for them because of the bigness.
I would say both.
That's a bad feeling. And you get the feeling when you're up there, right, whether people are with you or not.
Yeah, you know, especially when they're yelling, like, get off. You get an idea if they're with you or not, you know?
Yeah, you get a small idea at that point.
You know, anyway, they're holding their ears in the front row. That's another good clue. You know, it's like,
wow.
It was okay. You know, it was like, you know, I'm glad it's, you know, something to try. Something, no, it don't work like that. But,
yeah.
You know.
What's the kind of a situation that you'd like to create for your kind of music?
I like playing in, ideally, you know, well, I like playing in clubs, you know. I like the clubs. But it's like even on the you know, even with the level of whatever success I got now, you know, it's a little, sometimes too much for that, you know.
Right.
You know, and it's like, so like usually I do theaters, you know.
Small halls.
Yeah, you know, what I want to do is I want to do theaters and just be able to control the situation, you know, the sound and the promotional aspect of it, and the ticket prices and things, you know. So that
ticket prices, you mean keep them down?
Yeah, no, I mean I want to charge $20 again. It's like, yeah, you know, keep them at a reasonable level, you know.
Yeah. That's interesting because we were talking before about the difference between now and the 70s, sort of apathetic scene, and what went down a few years ago. And I guess most people listen to this show know I'm into a lot of social kinds of things, hunger and whatever. And you were mentioning that you're kind of writing, even though in a lot of ways you've been compared with some people who have a lot of kind of social dimension to them, that your writing attempts to be very personal and talking about your own experience and your feelings about things. That's where you want it to be, right?
Just you deal, it's different days, different time, and you're dealing with it with, like, I talked about in the 60s there was that big, we us,
Yeah, we're all together.
Yeah,
kind of
as done together as it, was, it was like, there was that sense of things,
Yeah.
and now, it's pretty much a thing where the guy out there is trying to save himself,
Mm-hmm.
like, like it's like it's you, and then it's everything else,
Yeah. Okay, let's hear some more Bruce Springsteen. This is 4th of July, Asbury Park. Sandy. Sandy, 4th of July, Asbury Park, Bruce Springsteen. You have a great ability to create images in your music and tell stories and put both of those together at the same time. That just happened to you? I mean, have you been doing that all along, or at a certain point did you kind of get better at it? Or?
Yeah, I just like well, when I split up the band I had before the one I got now, I figured, well, I was gonna have to perform by myself, I was gonna have to play by myself,
Right.
and I just sat down and wrote a mess of songs, about 30, 40 songs.
Wow.
Some of them ended up on, the Asbury Park album, and they just came out the way they came out,
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting. A lot of times necessity is the mother of a lot of good songs.
Yeah.
You got any hopes? We were just talking about this, some great things that you want to do with your life, with your music, your career, anything else?
No. It's like, I don't get too involved in projecting, that too far ahead, it's like, I just take it, see where it takes me, and try to do what I want to do, and that's about it,
Okay, our guest today has been Bruce Springsteen. As you're well aware, we've had an hour of Springsteen music and some of Springsteen himself. I think that he's a fine new talent. I think that certainly the hype that's been a part of the whole scene has helped to create an image. It's an image that I'm not so sure he's going to be happy with. I don't know, I'm thinking about it now, 6 months after I talked to him. And so many of those things that he said, you put them in the perspective of now, when he can spend time in the richest hotel in New York, and he doesn't just have to be out on the streets. How's that going to change the man?